hey, hey, hey. What up? All right, so if you're watching the video pod, you're probably looking at the video pod and you're thinking, what's with the get up, man? You're wearing a lot of things. And I understand that. It's just I just got out of the gym, so I got the hat on. I don't want you to see my crazy sweaty hair. I also have some really cool sunglasses on that honestly, if anybody just saw the sunglasses, they would know where I'm currently living, and if you didn't know, that's Miami, Florida. From Mississippi, but currently living in Miami, Florida. And if you look at the video pod, which is the reason I'm wearing these sunglasses, you will see these sunglasses and you will think, damn, homie, do they issue those out in the mail? Because they just look, these are Miami sunglasses, bro. So you got to see the video pod to do that. And we also expanded recently on more platforms. So I'm hoping that the video pod is available in even more places than Spotify. But I think only a handful of them actually support video. So anyway, if your podcast platform supports it, then here you go. Here's a video pod for you. I also saw in the analytics that we got to shout out some new people. So shout out some new countries. And it looks like we got a good bit of new listeners. So welcome to the pod. Welcome to the family, as they say. And I'll tell you off the jump, man, this is a open floor discussion. This kind of podcast, this is a podcast about absolutely nothing. Hoping to just explore some current events. Man, this is what we do, man. We just talk about society. We talk about culture. We talk about funny things, man. We try to make it funny. And there's a lot. Honestly, today, the theme of today is let's catch up on everything, because this week has just been nuts. It's been one thing and another thing and another thing. Plus, this past weekend, I was in San Antonio for a wedding. And that's the theme of the theme of this podcast is love. Okay. Because I was in a wedding. I'll tell you some stuff about the wedding, but also, there's just so much hate right now in the atmosphere. You got Donald Trump going to jail, which is, or getting arrested, going to jail. Shit. Some Simpsons prediction, possibly. I hope not. Listen, just going to come out with it. And I've said this before. I don't want to be political on this podcast whatsoever. It's not my choice, because all the relevant things being discussed right now are somehow involving politics. And that's because they want it to involve politics. They want politics involved in everything, so that way they can control everything. You see what's going on with the TikTok ban, where they named it the TikTok ban. It literally doesn't have the words TikTok in the name of the bill. It's actually called the Restriction Act, and TikTok is not mentioned in this. This is a kind of a sneaky backdoor NSA type of maneuver, how they did after 9/11, as you found out from Julian Assange and what's his name with the movie. Man, dude, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry I forgot your name, man. I'm sorry. I know you're watching. What's his name? Not Julian Assange, but the other one, dude. They made 17 movies with the guy. Joseph Gordon-Levitt played his character in that one movie. All right, fine. I'll look it up. Fine. I'll look it up. It's NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden, bro. I'm so sorry, Edward. I know you're watching, man. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to do that. So Edward, these people are. This is what they're trying to do with the Restriction Act, and we need Edward to come back and take a look at this and bail us out, because you don't know what kind of sneaky shit is in this act, this bill. It's you're gonna get. I think they talked about it on Rogan's podcast. I don't know what episode, but this is a big deal, man. I don't know what and then there's the centralized digital bank that the Federal Reserve is rolling out right now, and they're calling it FedNow. You got Cash App, you got PayPal, you got Venmo, and then they come out with FedNow. So, man, people are really worried about this, as you should be. I hope you are. Here, actually, let me throw up. So also on the video pod, let me tell you, you are going to be able to see some really cool things that hold. You're going to be able to see some really cool things that I haven't been able to show you before. But now that we're on the video pod, I can show you some cool things like, check this out. I'm trying to do it. So watch this. You're never going to believe what your eyes are seeing. So this is what I wanted to show you. This is just a meme I found that details centralized digital currency. So you see there, it says social credit scores. Don't know if anybody knows what that means, but it's like, hey, you didn't attend enough, LGBTQ or any activism. Like, obviously I just named the most obvious ones, BLM, like, you don't show up and support these activist groups despite whatever backdoor chicanery they have going on. As you found out from BLM, the owner fraudulently embezzled a bunch of the money, almost all of it. I'm pretty sure all the donated money. So this. So that's So if you're one of the people that knows that and you chose not to support any group, not just BLM, and obviously, I hate to have to even say, but I support all colors, peoples, backgrounds. Like, I got into it for the past 2 days with someone on Twitter. Like, like there was Justin Jones at the 10. Okay, so now I got to slow down, man. This is what I'm saying. There's just too much going on, and my message is love. The theme is love, man. Like, what is up, dude? Like, some people want it to be. Some people want there to be this hate. Like this guy, one of the Republican Senates. His name is Kumar, and he's up there. I don't even know what the context is, but he's up there, and it doesn't matter because he says, "I've never in my 50 years since I moved to the United States from India, I have never faced an example of racism." That was what he said. Justin Jones, who's the Tennessee Democratic Senate representative, said that he was the brown face of white supremacy. And that's just like, it needs no context, right? Like, what kind of rhetoric is that? And the point was, he's trying to make Kumar out to be some sort of like the Indian version of Uncle Tom, which is, bro, you're throwing it, and Justin Jones is black, or he appears to be black. I'm not sure, what his background is, but and by the way, I'm the type of person that doesn't care, and so I don't notice those things because I'm from a different background, and you can't tell that by looking at me. And I hope you're looking at the video pod right now so you can see that for yourself. I've got like reddish brown beard. I've got like dark brown hair. I'm very white, but that's because I'm mixed. My dad is very, very, very dark brown. He's got a lot of strong Latin features. He's Hispanic. He's from Honduras. My mom is not. She's from Mississippi. She's white. She looks white. Everybody in their family is white as far back as we know. Like, I don't know where those people come from. So I don't appear Latin or Hispanic, but I'm sorry to tell everybody that's the fucking fact. And I've got people like this lady on Twitter who's like she's literally calling me racist. And I'm telling her, you're the one being racist. You're defending someone that's calling someone else the brown face of white supremacy. And there's no context here. I'm telling you that the context doesn't matter. Maybe there is some sort of white supremacy, but because that all Kumar is saying is, I've just never faced an example of racism personally. And this lady who I was going back and forth with on Twitter was calling him a liar for saying that. And I'm just thinking, like, you want racism to exist. You want this hate to exist. Why does he have to be a liar? And what does he benefit from lying about that? My father, who I told you is from Honduras, I ask him this question often, very often. Most recently, a year ago, or a little over a year. It was like 2 years ago. And I just asked him again, like, do you, just straight up, like since the beginning, like since you came here, have you ever experienced racism? Do you have examples where your background or the way you look had anything to do with your outcomes or your your existence? Did it affect you in any way? And he can't recall an example either. And I haven't either. And as you know, he's my father. So I've been around him all my life. We've gone to places and done things and been all over and done the trips and done and interactions, and several people come to the house, and like we've had all the things. Like, we do life. There's been plenty of chances for someone to be racist towards him or whatever. But he just hasn't recalled that. And that's his reality. So is he a liar too? Tatiana or whoever it was. By the way, one of her arguing points was she said something, and then she said period. Like PERIODT. And then she put a actual period after it, which, we already know the period thing. That's been like, that's cute. And it's really funny. It's still funny. But I mean, we were doing that in like 2011. Like, come on, I'm trying to have a real conversation with you, So anyway, let's get back to centralized digital currency after that long ass sideways tangent. So this is the meme. It says, "Hey, cool, government is trying to make my life easier with a digital currency." And that's pretty much what everyone is thinking with the FedNow thing. But what you may not be thinking, and these are the things in the meme that they want to point you to where digital currency leads, or must be a constituent of this idea. You have to have these ideas to support a digital currency. It's things like this. Social credit scores. Like I said, yikes. You didn't do something. You didn't donate. You didn't march. You didn't do something. Or you did something, and or you're being accused of doing something, like this lady accusing me of being racist. I'm not doing anything racist. I'm just telling you, you're defending someone for saying something racist, and you're calling me racist. So there you go. I would have a doc against me for that. I would get in trouble, and then the government can do what they want with that. I mean, who knows? We're going to find out what they're going to do as far as like fines, penalties, etc. So the next one, every transaction is documented. Is that what you want? Because here's what's going to happen with that. You're going to try to pay your babysitter $20 for, oh fuck, I'm sorry. I know it's more than that now, I'm sure. $20 an hour, probably. Or fucking 50. I have no idea. I don't have children. I have zero clue about that. But just say what's going to end up happening is that little money that you're giving to the babysitter, she's getting taxed on that now, and so you paid her $100 to babysit the kids. Well, really she's going to get $87.20, So here we go. Access to and you don't have any control where that money goes, by the way, just like it's always been with the taxes. But I'm fine. I'm happy to contribute, but we all know we don't know where that money's going. They do a really good job of making sure that it's not very detailed. So the next one, access to your money can be turned off at any moment. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Frozen funds, pretty much the same thing. Not sure why they put that right next to each other. Centralization, all that means is that's how this is all tied together. So basically, anything that you do on the internet, that's centralized to their database. If you go swipe your card at an NFC or at a register or a cash register, that's connected to their database. You are exploring something on the internet. You're thinking about making a purchase. Those advertisements that are going to you that are going to influence you to make that purchase, that's all centralized. They know all of that data. The thing that happens now where people are like, I was just talking about ice cream and now I've got ads for Klondike bars. Oh, no, that was the chocolate taco they discontinued. Okay, we still got Klondike. That's part of their operation now. Okay. So next, I'm not done. Sit tight, buckle up. All your movements and actions are traceable. So it's pretty much what I just said with the computer. And everything. I mean, literally everything's going to be traceable, and they're going to find a way to make this more like 1984, like Big Brother, with like cameras in your house and stuff like that. Like somebody's always watching you. I mean, that's just I know that's a little, but that is the extreme end of it. You can extrapolate, right? So cybersecurity attacks, we already know there's been tons of leaks and issues with that kind of stuff, especially with AI. I don't know if you guys know about the latest with that. We'll catch you up. Zero privacy. Kind of saying the same thing, some of these, right? Banks have full control of every penny you own. That's also true. Like there's a great article. It's more than an article. This thing, like this woman detailed how 11 other countries have some sort of similar digital currency or centralized currency rather. And they've shown that because of this, the banks own everyone's money and they are able to do what they want with it when they want with it. And what they showed was there were 11 countries that were guilty of extracting the money from people's bank accounts. Imagine you're sitting there in your bank account and then you get a notification on your phone and it's like, oh, you have like $50 left. And you're like, whoa, what? That's because the bank ran out of money to pay their debts to the government and the government ran out of money to pay their debts. So it has to come from you and trickle up that way. Next, vulnerability to state and foreign actors. I mean, that's probably the worst one considering you got TikTok gathering up every single person's data and giving it to another country who is they're already operating on this type of system. Like any snags, any complications, any ideas, like they're in this is their lane right here, right? So all they'd have to do is pair the data that they're getting from everyone's TikTok and cause mayhem, dude. Like, I mean, because they have everything. They know your keystrokes. Everybody knows this right now, right? Like TikTok is the most malicious app that's ever been designed, and it has it's literally malware and it's spyware for China. They are able to view files, images, text, anything from any device sharing the same network with a phone that has TikTok on it. So my theory was, they're trying to ban TikTok because they want to, the politicians want to protect themselves from getting their information leaked to China, that they don't want China to air their dirty laundry, because we all know politicians. I'm not supporting barely any of them. Just a couple of them are worth a shit, right? And I made a comment earlier about Trump, by the way, and like I just want to clarify that. Like, I'm not for or like against or like, it's just, let's do the right thing as a country. Let's agree on something. Let's find common ground. That's all I care about. I don't even care who it is. But let me tell you something. This guy Biden, and I'm like, man, like, yo, like we're like, nobody sees this. Like man, we're getting okay. Point is, we don't want this, man. I hope this doesn't happen. I really, really don't want. This is it, man. Like once this happens, it's over. It's over. There's no privacy. There's no separation between the government and us. That's 1984. That's the Orwell situation, the Orwell sitch. You know, everyone's like, man, ever since 2019 or something, and it's 2020, I guess, everyone's like, man, it's so Orwellian. We live in Orwellian times. It's true, man. But I think Huxley is more right. I think we're going into the Orwellian era, the Orwellian, I think this Orwellian, not, the hell am I trying to say? It's going to be Aldous Huxley's Brave New World before it's going to be George Orwell's 1984. And it's already that. It's already Aldous Huxley's Brave New World tells us that what will happen is once we become singular with technology, which, as you can tell, is something that we're on the path to, with AI, with like how we use our devices, how we use the internet, how we use everything. Everything is Wi-Fi and computers and devices. I mean, the shit's everywhere. And what the hell was I saying? Not even really sure. Anyway. Yeah. So in A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, he details that what's going to happen is we'll just grow to embrace the stranglehold that technology has on us because of technology's greatest offer to us, which is convenience. And it's actually in the very center of the meme and the punchline of the meme, which is that it's a guy's face. It's the gray man's face, like from like those old like 4chan memes and stuff. And it's like his face, and it's just straight face, and it's his eyes focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's convenience. It's like a little block that says convenience. So, and that's it. That's Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. It's this meme right here. Like, I mean, it's wild. So, I'm have you seen? I actually have two cool videos I can show you. Which I don't even know if it's worth it because we're just talking so much. I might skip these videos for now. Let me see. Yeah, you guys don't even know, man. Let me check this. Let me see. I've got a playlist rocking for you. Hold on. So what's up, man? How's everybody doing? Everybody's good? Everybody's chilling? I got to tell you about the wedding, man. That was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I don't know. It was just like getting to see all my friends from medical school was so cool. We haven't seen each other in like over a year, and way longer than that now, I guess 2 years. And it was just great to see everybody. And San Antonio is so cool, but everybody was shitting on it. Like, as soon as I showed up, I love history. I love like a place that has rich history, and San Antonio is one of those places. As you know, don't forget the Alamo. I accidentally walked into it. That was funny. I really didn't even know. I was like, oh shit, this is the Alamo. Okay. But man, people were so nice. This one guy that was our server at at one of the restaurants downtown where we had the wedding rehearsal, or the after party of the wedding rehearsal, it was awesome, man. And this guy was so good, and he just like kept taking care of us. And I was like, man, I love it here, bro. I don't get this in Miami. I felt like I was in Mississippi for a second because if you don't know, Mississippi is the hospitality state. Which means, we just pride ourselves on that. It's just part of the culture. Everybody's really, really nice. Everybody's super nice. Like, they're always willing to help you out and do what they can to make you feel welcomed and make you feel like, you're here, you're part of the family. And that's how I felt over there. It was great. But let's, I don't want to get too off track, but, I did want to tell you this. All right, hold on. Because I really don't want to get too sidetracked. That's a whole other story. Give me 1 second. Let's do this first. So there's two things. I mean, there is literally so much going on, guys. There's the vaccine stuff coming out finally after like forever ago. Like, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, we've been talking about this for a minute. And like pretty much since the beginning. And because I started this in 2021, and that's right whenever I was like, you know what? There's too much bullshit going on, man. These people are talking crazy like about the vaccine. Like, that study came out from Israel so quick, and everybody started recognizing what was going on. If you were like really woke or like awake or whatever, like not ironically, but actually like, so, man, honestly, like, how much time do we have? We're only 25 minutes in, man. Let's go. Come on, baby. We're good. We're good, baby. Let me show you this then. So, okay, here we go. Just hang tight. You're chilling. So this one is called, this is all about AI. This is about AI, guys. And you know we talk a lot about AI, but this one's about ChatGPT too. And if we haven't talked about ChatGPT, it's about time. So let's get it popping. You want this one? A massive upgrade to ChatGPT? Let's do it. Or we can look at this guy, Matt Wolf. I need you to check his stuff out on YouTube. He is the AI guy. He's my AI guy. Everybody's got to have an AI guy. Everyone needs an AI guy. Let's see. He's got a lot of videos. All right, I'm just gonna click the one that I already had saved here. Here it is. A massive upgrade to ChatGPT. This is crazy, is what he said. This was 3 weeks ago, by the way. Hold. You're not seeing that. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna fix that for you. Hold. I got you. Hold on. I got you. Sorry, guys. I gotta fix something for next episode. No worries though. Let's carry on.
Files and connect it to your website and do pretty much anything that you could possibly imagine with ChatGPT. This is that game changing, and I'm going to show you all about it right now. So the first big announcement came from OpenAI. They announced that ChatGPT will implement support for plugins. Plugins essentially extend the functionality of ChatGPT and allow you to sort of bolt on additional.
You know what? I just realized that this is the wrong video. Let's play the other one. I do want to see that one, but you need this one for context because that one's like saying too much stuff. It's talking about OpenAI. You guys don't probably, I don't know if everyone knows. I mean, I just want to make sure we're being, for continuity's sake, we're being complete, okay? So this is called AI's Most Insane Week. Things will never be the same. This is the one I really wanted you to see.
The time that I've spent messing with AI and following AI news, this week has been the absolute craziest week in AI that I've ever seen. Every single day, there's been some sort of crazy announcement going on. And in this video, I just want to break down this week in a nutshell. Let's get into it. To start off on the week Monday, we got news that Stanford introduced the Alpaca 7B model. What this is a model trained on 52,000 instructions, similar to the way the GPT-3 model is trained. However, because it's trained on so much fewer instructions, it's much more lightweight and can actually be used on somebody's local computer. When tested against tools like GPT-3 and ChatGPT, it actually performed almost as well as those models, but with such a smaller file size and less necessity for compute power, so that it sort of democratizes these large language models so that anyone can just run them on their own system. Elvis here on Twitter breaks it down by saying large language models are getting cheaper, better, and more accessible. Now, they tested this on a really, really high-end graphics card, and it took 3 hours to train it, and they fine-tuned it with the Llama models, which was basically recently released to the public. Carlos Perez here says, I don't know what to make about this development. Alpaca is surprisingly very good. The claim here is that training can be done in 5 hours using a single RTX 4090, a still fairly high-end graphics card, but a consumer graphics card.
Don't worry, guys. I don't know what the hell he's talking about either.
Models been democratized overnight? Now, while most of us probably won't be trying to run our own large language chat models on our own computer with what's currently available, what we're seeing with Alpaca shows that we are really, really close to this. It won't be very long where, similar to Stable Diffusion, you'll be able to just install your own chatbot on your own computer, have it trained on your own data set, and have your own personalized GPT-3 or ChatGPT on your own computer without even needing to be connected to the internet. We are very close to that. And Monday was a big breakthrough and one step closer to that. Now on Tuesday was a huge day. So much happened on Tuesday. Everything just kept on getting overshadowed by everything else. Now to start off, Google announced that they were going to be releasing all sorts of AI functionality inside of their workspace tools. We're going to get GPT-3-like functionality inside of Google Docs and tools like Gmail really soon, where it will just auto-complete your emails, auto-complete your docs for you, help you brainstorm ideas, write entire articles for you, write your resumes, write your cover letters. It sounds like it's going to be pretty much what we expect from tools like GPT-3 directly inside of Google Docs and Gmail. And then rolling out a little later after that, we're going to start to see it integrated inside of Google Sheets, inside of Google Slides, inside of Google Meet, and all of the various other suite of tools that Google has out there. We're going to start to see a lot of this AI roll into those tools. Is probably going to make a lot of these recent crop of AI-based companies fairly obsolete, since a lot of these companies are actually building tools that are kind of just going to be features inside of what Google is building now. Also on Tuesday, Google announced the next generation of AI for developers in Google Workspace. They announced that they're releasing the PaLM API to select developers so that they can start building on top of the PaLM model. Now, I recently did a video where we talked about PaLM, and PaLM is a multimodal model where it's going to be able to read what's going on in images. It's going to be able to read your text prompts and combine that with images. It sort of does a lot of what people were expecting GPT-4 to do. And now a lot of companies are going to get to build on top of that because of the API that's getting released from it.
Cool.
Also on
Cool. So they're giving it imagination, basically. This is what that just said.
Tuesday, Anthropic, a company that Google themselves is heavily invested in, introduced Claude, which is their own version of a chatbot. At the moment, it appears that Claude is only available through API, so Claude is being used behind the scenes on a lot of tools like Poe from Quora and like the AI that's built into Notion. And then on Tuesday, the granddaddy of them all, the biggest news of the week, GPT-4 is ready for us to use, and it was in ChatGPT for us to play with that same day. It was a little interesting because ChatGPT didn't even know it was on GPT-4 on day one, but the outputs that everybody was getting when messing with GPT-4 inside of ChatGPT was clearly different and better than what we were getting out of previous versions of ChatGPT. Now, GPT-4 also announced that we're going to be able to have longer context in our messages with them, and that it's also going to use visual inputs and be a multimodal model as well, where it will be able to look at images and use that image for additional context and decipher what's in the image and do all sorts of interesting things with the combination of image and text inputs. This was a huge breakthrough on Tuesday and really set the AI world on fire by the outputs that people were getting out of GPT-4. So much better quality.
So I think this is what I was scared of when I was a kid. Does anybody else not scared of? Well, just something about this is scary, right? You know, I mean, besides the fact that it just looks like we're obviously going to get a lot dumber because of this, because we just give up all of our, I mean, right now we're less physical because we give up all of our physical convenience to convenience. We give up all of our, we reserve that physical activity, or substitute that physical activity in favor of convenience. So, you know, fill in the blank, all the things that we do to skip doing physical things. Now, here's the opportunity to do all the things that, you know, require mental tasks, you know, writing papers, like blah, 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 everything that he just mentioned. Not going to regurgitate it all, but you know what I mean? It's like, man, here we go again. We're just, whatever's convenient. Oh, man, we got to resist that, dude. We really got to resist that. Like, I'm going back to doing dishes by hand, doing laundry by hand. And you know, when Apple's like, you know, when you get like new photos in your phone and Apple's like, oh, is this somebody? Oh, is this person? Oh, is this person in your phone? Is this contact? And it just knows, you know, I mean, we trained that. We help, we're all totally a part of this. We are all creating it. And I don't know, man, I guess that's just my fear. It's like, you can see the end of humanity if we continue with this, you know? I don't know. So anyway, So that's what's up with AI. And I really wanted to give you that because, and you were probably wondering like, yo, like, we're talking a lot of AI things lately. And that's because I got a story for you. So here it comes. Okay, so this is from MIT Technology Review, and this is part of their artificial intelligence section, I guess. I don't know. But it says that this is the title of the headline. The title of the article. The headline. A Roomba recorded a woman on the toilet. How did screenshots end up on Facebook? Robot vacuum companies say your images are safe. But a sprawling global supply chain for data from our devices creates risk. That's what I was talking about with the TikTok thing. Oh, man, this stuff. In the fall of 2020, gig workers in Venezuela posted a series of images to online forums where they gathered to talk shop. The photos, this is obviously going to be a lot of stuff that's like, the photos were mundane, if sometimes intimate, household scenes captured from low angles, including some you really wouldn't want shared on the internet. In one particular revealing shot, a young woman in a lavender t-shirt sits on the toilet, her shorts pulled down to mid-thigh. The images were not taken by a person, but by development versions of iRobot's Roomba J7 series robot vacuum. They were then sent to Scale AI, a startup that contracts workers around the world to label audio, photo, and video data used to train artificial intelligence. They were the sorts of scenes that internet-connected devices regularly capture and send back to the cloud, though usually with stricter storage and access controls. Yet earlier this year, MIT Technology Review obtained 15 screenshots of these private photos, which had been posted to closed social media groups. The photos vary in type and in sensitivity. The most intimate image we saw was the series of video stills featuring the young woman on the toilet, her face blocked and the lead image, but unobscured in the grainy scroll of shots below. In another image, a boy who appears to be 8 or 9 years old and whose face is clearly visible is sprawled on his stomach across a hallway floor. A triangular flop of hair spills across his forehead as he stares, with apparent amusement at the object recording him from just below eye level. The other shots show rooms. Oh, here's a picture. Yo, what? Okay, why is I guess the Roomba needs a can. Okay. Woo! All right. The other shots show rooms from homes around the world, some occupied by humans, one by a dog. Furniture, decor, and objects located high on the walls and ceilings are outlined by rectangular boxes and accompanied by labels like TV, plant, or flower, and ceiling light. iRobot, the world's largest vendor of robotic vacuums, which Amazon recently acquired for $1.7 billion in a pending deal, confirmed that these images were captured by its Roombas in 2020. All of them came from special development robots with hardware and software modifications that are not and never were present on iRobot consumer products for purchase, the company said in a statement. They were given to paid collectors and employees who signed written agreements acknowledging that they were sending data streams, including video, back to the company for training purposes. This just happened with Samsung too. Some people at Samsung. So see, here's my point. The people at Samsung, some of the programmers, they got lazy and chose convenience over doing it themselves, autonomy over agency. I'm getting a call. I needed to stop. Hey, am I back? I'm getting a call. Why is this happening? Hold on. Hold, please. So what? The thing is on Do Not Disturb. All right, whatever, man. Whatever. Oh, man, I was in the middle of some hotness right there, dude. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the F word, but I really want to. So, man, dude. I was about to spit something hot right there. Man, basically okay. Samsung, they're okay. This is the same thing that happened recently. I read an article, I think it was yesterday or this morning. Samsung some employees at Samsung in Korea, they got lazy and chose convenience instead of autonomy and agency and self-agency and self-preservation. Instead of choosing those things, they said, oh man, let's just get the chat bot to make the thing and write the code. And they did all that, and there was a leak of private information from Samsung to the chat bot, to the AI. So now the AI learned those things that it wasn't supposed to learn. It learned the things that Samsung was trying to keep a secret from AI because the developers literally gave it to them. And it was 4 times that they have been caught, or that I don't want to say caught, because they weren't, it wasn't a malicious thing. Like the people at Samsung just like were being lazy. Literally, they were just being lazy, and they were just like, man, let's get the chat bot to, I'll find you the article for that. But anyway, these are my points. These are my points why this is scary, because we're just giving so much power to something that can destroy us, because it robs us of our agency and our autonomy. And we just are just complicit in that, totally complicit in that. It's crazy. I'm trying to resist it. I mean, I know it's going to be a part of our lives regardless, but I'm trying to hold out as long as I can, just like the vaccine. I'm just holding out as long as I can until the hospital sits me down, tells me, yeah, you know that religious exemption that you have for the COVID vaccine because you're really, really scared of taking the vaccine because you know that it's not safe and you know that it's not effective, and you know that there's no point for you to take it anyway, and you know that you already had the virus less than 16 months ago, which means that you still have natural immunity. But they tell you that's too bad. If you want to rotate here, you're going to have to get it anyway. And went and got that shot, and again, didn't need it. It's the same thing. I'm trying to hold out as long as I can because I can see some of the dangers in this. And I don't know. Don't tell Apple who is in your phone. Like, don't be like, oh yeah, that's Justin right there. Oh, there's Megan. Oh, there's Cornelius. Like, don't tell Siri who the people are. That's helping it, Anyway, so let's finish this. They were given to paid collectors and employees who signed written agreements acknowledging that they were sending data streams, including video, back to the company for training purposes. According to iRobot, the devices were labeled with a bright green sticker that read, "Video recording in progress." And it was up to those paid data collectors to remove anything they deem sensitive from any space the robot operates in, including children. Like, okay. Did you participate in iRobot's data? Okay, never mind. In other words, by iRobot's estimation, anyone whose photos or video appeared in the streams had agreed to let their Roombas monitor them. iRobot declined to let MIT Technology Review view the consent agreements and did not make any of its paid collectors or employees available to discuss their understanding of the terms. Yeah, no surprise. Oh, wow, this is a huge article, you guys. We are not reading any more of that. Oh man, they're talking about something dark right here. I think somebody just... Let me see what's going on here. Quote, "You have to assume that people ask each other for help. The policy always says that you're not supposed to, but it's very hard to control. Some clues about the other methods of data collection come from Gius, the IoT hacker, whose office at Northeastern is piled high with robot vacuums that he has reverse engineered, giving him access to their machine learning models." Oh, there you go. Some are produced by Dream, a relatively new Chinese company based in Shenzhen that sells affordable, feature-rich devices. GS found that Dream vacuums have a folder labeled AI server, as well as image upload functions. Companies, are you hearing what I'm reading to you? I'm telling you, they literally are just watching you. They're monitoring you. And they're so, it's the same thing with the NSA thing. This podcast is so full circle. It's so crazy. And I could go on another circle with the freaking TikTok thing if I wanted to right now, but I can't because I don't want to get sidetracked. But it's something you should care about. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, the government's watching me. Oh, China's watching me. Oh, like, I don't care. or yeah, like, oh, they can see me get naked. I don't care. That's their argument. It's like, you don't understand the overreach, that the undertones of that. Like, it's way more that's implicated than just them just watching you naked. Like, they are studying you. They are gathering information. They're gathering data when they're monitoring you. There's a purpose for it. Like, you got to be smarter than that, man. Come on. So yeah, like I said, this is super long. You know, I don't want to kill you guys with it. It's really long, but man, here they go. They're talking about why they're talking about our data and why, you know, these AI companies are just like, you know, taking the data, what they're doing with it. And, you know, this stuff is, we're not free anymore, man. We're not. Privacy's done. That's dead. Rest in peace, privacy. This is this is the only thing that George Orwell didn't realize, was that, like, who was it that was looking at us? Here, check this out. George Orwell, summary, 1984. Check this out. This is great. I love this right here. I watch it every now and then.
Totalitarian government is one that tries to control every aspect of life. How people spend every minute of their time, even in private, who they can associate with, what they're allowed to say. A totalitarian government even tries to control what people think and what they believe. George Orwell wrote 1984 in the late 1940s. What he knew about totalitarianism was based on the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany. Those governments had come into being not that long before, and they weren't very well understood yet. What Orwell was trying to do with 1984 was to give his readers a clear picture of what life would be like if a free country like England were under totalitarian rule. 1984 takes place in London.
Look at the background. So if you're not watching the video pod, there's it's a cartoon that's going with this narration. All this is a video SparkNotes summary of Orwell's 1984. That's all this is. So they're just detailing what the book is, and it's not that long, but in the background, it has the things, and this was 13 years ago. This video was made 13 years ago. So whoever did the animation, I don't know, but like, it's right now, what the still frame is a podium and lots of people, and it looks like a big mass congregation place. And there's a British flag on the podium, and in the back there's 3 signs: war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Now, if you didn't hear me read those 3 things and think, holy shit, that's really, really, really coincidental to a lot of things that's going on right now. I can point to so many examples within each one of those that aren't just like your average day-to-day interactions. These are ideas that are these are ideas that are gaining traction. Like, war is peace, like Biden, like I was saying earlier, trying to put us in this fucking war. Like, I mean, it's no secret now. I mean, I was talking about it real precariously recently, and I always do that, guys. I'm really trying not to get in trouble, man. Like, I don't want to be scared to talk about these things, but I also feel like, you know, I mean, I just see people getting come after all the time. Like, I saw this guy just got arrested recently because he made some joke about Nancy Pelosi, and like, they literally showed up and arrested him for making a joke about it. And it was super nothing, and it's a joke. It was just a joke, and he got arrested for it. You know, I just worry about this kind of stuff, you know. And the monitoring is getting heavier. They are going to probably start. That's what the Restriction Act was about, was how to increase the monitoring. And anyway, so I don't want to get too sidetracked. Let's carry on.
The London in the book is a depressing place. There's never enough to eat. The food's disgusting. There aren't enough clothes or shoes or anything to go around, and the city is pretty dilapidated, except for these giant pyramid-shaped government buildings that rise above the landscape. There's some sort of war going on, though no one really understands what it's about. Rockets frequently explode in the streets and blow people to bits. The worst part is that the government is always watching everything people do. There are these posters of Big Brother, who's supposedly the leader of the government, that say, "Big Brother is watching you." There are thought police who have hidden cameras and microphones literally everywhere. The government can watch you in your home through your TV screen, and you're not allowed to turn your TV off ever.
That's right. Yeah. It's the TV screen. That's what I was talking about. So the reason we went to this video. So it's not the TV screen. That's the only thing that George Orwell didn't have right. It's actually Roombas. Continuing on.
There are a lot of things you're not allowed to do in this society, and if you do them, the police might take you away and throw you into a forced labor camp. You're not allowed to have close friends. You're not allowed to be in love. You can't date or have sex with someone you like. You're basically supposed to save all your emotional energy for the party being the government. Then there are things you have to do. You have to watch the government programming on TV, most of its news, some of its exercises. You have to attend pep rallies, including this one called the 2 Minutes Hate. So it's hard to even have time to think your own thoughts, because they're constantly filling your head with propaganda. The main character of 1984 is Winston Smith. He's 39, he has a job in the government, and he lives this horrible, dreary existence without any friends or anyone in his life. At the beginning of the book, he starts writing a diary to talk about how much he hates life in his society, even though writing a diary is one of those things you'd be killed for doing if you were caught. The diary is his place for thinking about his society. It's a place where he tries to imagine if life could possibly be different from the way it is. There's no way for him to know if things were ever different before, because the government has changed all the records of the past and rewritten all the history books. At the beginning of the novel, there are two other people who matter to Winston, and he doesn't even know either of them. One of them is Julia. Julia is this attractive young woman who works in the same building as him. She's some kind of mechanic. Winston basically hates her. He hates her because she's pretty and he can't have her, but he also thinks she's the sort of person who would turn him into the thought police. So he's afraid of her, but also sort of fascinated. The other person he's interested in is this portly guy named O'Brien, who's a member of the inner party. That means he's a boss, much higher up than Winston. Winston should be afraid of this guy, but he gets the sense that O'Brien is intelligent, so he has this yearning to be friends with him. He thinks O'Brien would understand how he feels about life. The book takes a turn one day when Julia slips Winston a note that says, "I love you." This note completely rocks Winston's world. Of course he's interested. He can't wait to get in touch with her. But it's very hard for them to say two words to each other in private with all these spies and cameras everywhere.
What did I say the message
Finally,
of the podcast was? The theme of the
get out to
podcast?
the country, and they start this mad love affair. The love affair makes them both very happy. It's dangerous because they could be killed or sent to labor camps if they get caught, but that makes it more exciting. At last, Winston has someone who understands him and who hates the party as much as he does. But Winston needs to go that extra step. He's rebelling against the party privately by having the secret affair. Now he wants to go to the next level and be an active rebel against the government. He gets his chance one day, when O'Brien invites him to his apartment to look at something work-related. Winston takes a leap of faith and guesses that O'Brien must be part of the rebellion, because no one invites people over to their home. It just isn't done. So he and Julia go to O'Brien's house and confess that they want to be rebels. And O'Brien says, "Yes, I'm a rebel too." And we all read this book that explains why things are the way they are. Winston reads the book, and he's blown away by it. Unfortunately, right after he reads it, the thought police bust in and arrest him and Julia and carry them off to the Ministry of Love to torture them. So we learn that O'Brien wasn't a rebel after all. He just wanted to catch Winston. In the Ministry of Love, they torture Winston in all sorts of horrible ways. They break his bones and his teeth, they use electric shock, they starve him, and on and on. He tells them everything he knows, he confesses to everything they ask him, and he tells them everything he knows about Julia. After torturing him over and over, O'Brien finally tells Winston what it is that the government really wants. What they want is to have total power over the minds of people like Winston. They want people like Winston to say 2 + 2 = 5 and really believe it, not just say it to avoid a beating. For the government, it's purely an exercise in power. They're not trying to control his mind for some other purpose. They just want to exercise total power over people's minds. They finally do break Winston completely in this place called Room 101, where they do whatever it is you're most afraid of. They lock his face into a cage and threaten to let these rats eat their way through his face. He has a phobia of rats, so he loses it and says, "Do it to Julia, not me," which is a complete betrayal of what's most important to him. The government has taken his last shred of integrity. After he does that, they let him and Julia go. The thought police don't care about them anymore. The two of them meet on the outside, but they can't love each other anymore.
The thought
Winston
police,
and
by the way, doesn't that sound similar to the Ministry of Truth that the government was trying to do to combat misinformation, combat disinformation? Oh yeah, who's going to be in charge of that? Who's going to be in charge of the right information, I wonder?
Are basically broken people after they get out. Winston has changed to the point that he doesn't even want to think about anything that might be rebellious. He just sits in a cafe listening to the news and smiling. The last words of the novel are, "He loved Big Brother." So, one of the points the book makes is that a human being can be broken down completely until he'll believe whatever you tell him, even if it's that 2 + 2 = 5. At the same time, the book has a positive message, which is that it's really hard to get inside someone's head to that extent. The government has to go to incredible lengths to brainwash Winston successfully. For more information about
I don't know about
1984,
that.
check out...
You know, I mean, as detailed in the last couple of years, if you haven't noticed, man, there's a lot of dullards out there, and there's a lot of people that you just tell them. I mean, just tell me, how many people do you still see driving around with a mask in 2023? Alone in their car, alone in the car, driving. It's 2023 because they're listening to the propaganda. I mean, I saw a truck today on my way home with big writing all over it. Some health place here, I don't know, who cares, that says "get vaccinated" all over it, talking about the COVID vaccine. Hey man, like, everybody has known and been known that it's not safe and effective. It's unsafe and ineffective. We know that. So, you know, you're promoting it like it's Coca-Cola. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, man. So that's, I guess, in a nutshell, that's where we're heading, you know. I mean, if we don't watch out. I'll say this on a positive note. I mean, at least they were free and they could still, you know, I mean, see, that's the thing, man. Like, so yeah, the theme of this episode is love, as I said. You know, let's not go down this road. You know, let's choose to love each other. What happened to MLK Jr., man? Like, what happened? We forgot. You know, people, you know. I don't know. I just feel like the more divided we are, if we can combat racism and we can combat, you know, all the social injustices that are out there, and I don't mean the ones that people fearmonger you about, because as you know, like I detailed earlier, there are people out there that want there to be racism and they want there to be hate in the world, even when it's not there. Someone's straight up telling you, "I've never experienced racism," and you know, and then these people, you know, and then you get generalized because you're an immigrant. So because you're an immigrant, no, it's inevitable that you're going to have racial discrimination placed against you. It is inevitable. And that's basically what this woman was arguing. Like, that's so ridiculous. Just because that's not his reality, and she's calling him a liar, saying he's lying about that. Like, again, what is it that you have to benefit from that? There's only one thing that the government needs to have this, what Orwell predicted. And that's having a society that's truly divided. And I don't want that. I don't think many people are actually operating where they think that everything is homophobic and everything is racist and everything is transphobic and everything is xenophobic. Like, I don't think there are really people out there that are having daily interactions and they're just calculating everything in that way. But as you know from critical race theory, there are people that do believe in microaggressions, and there are things that are being done against you that you can't even see. Like, racism is a real shadowy thing. Like, it's just all these things and all this stuff happening, and you know, you're getting affected by it. You don't know it, but just believe me. Just believe me. What's that one title of one episode that I had? It was like, just believe me because I said so. You know, like, I'm just saying so just do it. You know. And I'm not listening to that, man. I'm preaching MLK Jr. I'm judging people on the content of their character. I don't care anything about your creed, race, background, orientation, like literally nothing about you. I mean, just care to help you if you need help, or the golden rule: treat others as though you would want to be treated. That's it, man. That's all. That's my message. Okay. So anyway, that's probably gonna be it for this one, because it was a wild ride, baby. It was a wild ride. But we'll have more hopefully sooner than later, and I'll give you more stuff that's gonna scare the shit out of everyone. And until then, peace, love, and blessings. Miss you, love you. See you soon. Bye bye.